What's up, YouTube? This your boy Nate with Underdog Spraying. I'm just heading on my way to one of my customers' house out here on the east side of Atlanta. Boulder Crest Road, as some of you all may be familiar with the Atlanta area. But so I'm heading over here to do a maintenance on the lawn. I sprayed this particular property about 6 weeks ago, and I suppose it came out last week to treat it. But the customer asked me, could I push it back or push it forward 1 week? So that's what I did. But I just wanted to come on here to kind of talk about the patience that's needed when you're starting the business. Give me 1 second. I had to get over. Atlanta, they drive kind of crazy up here. But yeah, like I said, I wanted to kind of talk about the patience. The reason why, because sometimes starting out a business, it can be kind of discouraging. When you're first starting out, I can remember back to 2005 when I was at IKEA, when IKEA first opened up in Atlanta. I was down there to help open up the store. And I think I was there almost a good, little over a year and a half, if I'm not mistaken. It might have been a year and 4 months, something like that. I don't know. But it was a pretty good time, pretty good amount of time. Not no 10 years or nothing like that. But, a year is a lot of time, even, to be given to somebody when it's not your own business, right? So I end up leaving there, I think around 2007, late 2006, early 2007, I found another job. And I had made a decision to start my own business or work for my own self at some point. I just knew that when I got to the other job, which was a warehouse job, I knew that I wasn't gonna be there for long. So 2007, I was at a new job, and I had made a decision that I was gonna stay there until 2008, and I was gonna leave, and do something else. At the time, I didn't know what it was, right? So in 2008, when I was leaving that job, our plans were to start a in-home daycare. So we started the daycare. We had some income coming in, but once again, that was a business that we just started. So for me and my wife, it was kind of taking some time to kind of get the hang of it and get things rolling. But it was sustaining us, considering that I had just left the workforce. And then in 2009, me and my brother were talking about opening up a business. And then me and him just kind of brainstorming, cutting grass came up, because we used to cut grass together when we were small. Our father used to send us in the neighborhoods to go cut grass, and we had a good time doing it. We make a little money, but for the most part, at that age, we were just buying cigarettes. Because back in the day, in the 80s, you can buy cigarettes as a 12-year-old. So that's what we would do. We'd be buying cigarettes, stopping at the park, smoking them, not knowing what we were doing, just having fun as kids. But that kind of gendered the idea of us doing it again, right? So we decided to do it. Needless to say that me and my son end up being the ones to carry on the landscaping company. So we had landscaping company, and it took a while. Hold on 1 second. Anyway, it took a while for it to get going, but after about 3 or 4 years of just being consistent, it started to take off. And that's kind of how what was the reason for me doing this video is because You know, a lot of times when you start to open businesses, you have to be able to go through the hard part. And a lot of times the hard part is actually getting the business off the ground. So you find yourself cutting yourself short in order to get the business from customers. You find yourself, you know, having to, in a sense, lay down or become a chameleon in order to, you know, get what it is you're trying to get in this business, or, you know, achieve what it is you're trying to achieve. You know, sometimes you would just have to, you know, take whatever comes your way. So, like you may know, I started off with the landscaping company about 14 years ago. Gave it up this year, 2022, so I can get my license for the spraying, ornamental turf, and you know, pest control as far as weeds are concerned. And I'm looking into my mosquito license now. You know, I've been studying on that lately because I'm trying to add to my license while I have the opportunity before they make the threshold a lot harder to get into this spraying field. But as with anything, starting this company, you know, one of the biggest things that I did have, and I'm still kind of waiting on it, is a response from the community that has over 894 homes. Waiting on them to respond back, you know, to let me know if I at least get one of the jobs. You know, I put a bid in for 4 different jobs over there, and hey, if I get 1 or 2, you know, I definitely be ecstatic about it, because that's a great start for someone just getting off into the chemical, you know, the spraying field. But in the meantime, it's slow right now. You know what I'm saying? I did stop in July, stopped cutting grass in July. 31st was my last day, and then you know, and it's just been here and there, you know, touch and go, nothing really solid. But I know how businesses work. If you're just consistent, you know what I'm saying? If you're consistent with your business, if you're patient, it's gonna work. You know, and I just had to do this video because, you know, you can kind of get those thoughts in your mind and probably think, well, you know, is this business even worth it? You know what I'm saying? And if you're new to it, it may be discouraging. But if you just hold on and just keep pushing your business, it'll eventually break. You know what I'm saying? My advice would be, for those who are just starting out a business, my advice would be to get all your ducks lined up in a row now, while still kind of slow. You want to be able to get a list of your customers, at least in this field, whether it's cutting grass or spraying. You want to be able to have some type of software where you can be able to log your customers, the work, the rotations and stuff like that, even the size of town they live on. You know, you want to do all that, want to get your insurance and stuff in line. You want to get, make sure you have your LLC, if possible, or whatever you want to do. It can be an S Corp, you know what I'm saying? Whatever you need to do, just take this opportunity while things are slow to get things in line, because at some point it's going to take off. And one thing about business, if you want to be successful in business, it's good to just have everything already lined up, already in order, so when the business does start to take off, you know, you don't have to feed people excuses as to why you can't make it or what's going on and so on and so forth. So just take these opportunities now while it's kind of slow to get everything in order, because it's going to jump. Only thing is, the hardest thing is about starting businesses is exercising patience, because you know you're looking for the revenue to come in to be able to make life a little easier. We all have to go to work, but one thing that scares a lot of people, man, immediately out the gate, it doesn't always take off like that. So if you could just have some patience, like I said, have some patience. Even if you have to go to work for somebody in the meantime, don't get comfortable if you're trying to start your own business. If you're trying to start your own business, just go there, do what you have to do to allow some money to come in or whatever. But stay focused on what the mission is pertaining to starting a business. If you could just make it through I think a lot of times it's probably the first 6 months to a year. I think the second year for myself in cutting grass, it started to pick up substantially. Third year, fourth year, we really were starting to pick up. And I think when we got around year number 6 or 7, we already had, we already had a list of clients, had already formed relationships with these clients. And these particular clients had, began to recommend us to other people, so that grew the business also. So even with, the spraying, like I say, the spraying for me is just starting up kind of slow. And, I may sometimes in my thought process have this, excuse the camera shaking, y'all. I may have these thoughts go through my mind like, damn, maybe I should have started next year. And then again, I just have to remind myself of all the success I had with the cutting. And I done been down this road before, like this, some people say, and I'm not saying it's bragging, but this ain't my first rodeo as far as business is concerned. The other one, the cutting grass, was cool, but it is what it is. I did what I had to do for the time being, and it just got to a point that I need something a little more stable, as far as being able to sustain me as I get older. So I got off into this, and like I said, I'm looking forward to get my mosquito license as well. But I know that it just takes a little bit of time. So when I have those crazy thoughts in my mind, that try to discourage me or make me, feel like I made the wrong idea, I just have to, I kill those thoughts, man. I kill them, because first and foremost, I know it was the Lord that helped me to pass the test. I know it. I was going to pass on taking the test. I was going to just, push it forward a little bit further out so I could study a little more. And I just heard this voice say to me, at what point are you going to have faith? And once I heard that, I made a decision to take the test, and I passed it. So I know that was God. The devil's not going to ask me about faith. If anything, he wants me not to have faith in God. So I know it wasn't Satan. I know it was God, and I had faith. So just like with this here, I know that the Lord is guiding this. Even with the people calling me to give an estimate on those huge properties, that huge subdivision, I know that was the Lord. I just got out of cutting in July 31st. In September, I was measuring 20 acres of property to spray. You know what I'm saying? That don't just come to everybody. You know what I'm saying? So that's how I know it's the Lord looking out. But right now, it's just a waiting game. So as I go through this waiting game, my worst enemy is myself, critiquing myself or discouraging myself. And what I mean by that is the thoughts inside of my head that will cause me to be discouraged. But listen, I believe in God. I know there's a God. I've seen him work in my life, and I know without a doubt, as long as I'm alive, the Lord has his hand on everything that I do. So I know that this business will take off. Right now, I think I have about 5 or 6 customers. That's it. 5 or 6. Guaranteed. before the end of next year, I'm gonna probably have about 60 to 75 clients. I already know it without a doubt. You know why? Because I know how God works. I know how it works. I know how He takes care of me and my family, you know. So I just wanted to come in, let you know, guys, just be patient. You're trying to start a business, be patient, hang in there, and it's all gonna work out. All right, have a good day.